course, that we're just 100 days away, well, less now, from our wonderful coronation over here in the United Kingdom. And when you think about it, the coronation of our late and beautiful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, took 16 months to prepare. When you look into that, you don't realize exactly the difficulties that they encountered, because many historians may know that it was truly down to the push and vigor of the late Duke of Edinburgh, His Royal Highness Prince Philip, to make sure that in fact it was televised to the world via the BBC. This was the biggest operation they'd ever encountered to try and make sure so many people were watching. It saw the sales of television sets over here in the United Kingdom threefold. It went through the roof. Everybody wanted to watch the coronation. But of course, it's not really just about the coronation, it's the planning beforehand that people don't realise. Now, I don't know if you know this particular historical fact, but part of the reason why certain elements of the coronation were televised and recorded in colour was simply so that they could do some experimental tests for future broadcasts. And originally, the colour versions were only actually shown to the staff and children of Great Ormond Street Hospital. So, because of that particular fact, a certain lady with an association to the celebrated wit, the late Oscar Wilde, was drafted in at the bequest of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, not just to turn her, but the ladies in waiting, and most importantly, our forthcoming Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, into making sure she looked her absolute radiant, beautiful best, not just for the black and white cameras, but for the colour cameras too. So I wanted to share today this little fact known about exactly how all of that came around. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II took place in Westminster Abbey on the 2nd of June 1953. Now what's interesting when you look back is, as I say, it was all down to this particular lady, and was entrusted to Thelma Holland, the director of the London salon Cyclax, an English cosmetic company founded in 1897. Queen's hair was dressed by a personal hairdresser, Mr. Jules Henri of the London firm Emile. Now, Thelma Holland basically had a rather interesting background, because she was married to the son of the celebrated wit and playwright Oscar Wilde. But it was way back in the 1940s that Thelma approached Queen Elizabeth, as she then was, later the Queen Mother, with advice to cosmetic advice about the young princesses Elizabeth and Margaret Rose. When the Queen agreed, Thelma became the cosmetician and beauty advisor to the royal household and was entrusted with the royal complexion. What a job, eh? And of course, just our beautiful monarch, whose complexion Thelma had to look after. There was also Elizabeth's maids of honour, who were also assisted with their makeup. Some had to have their eyebrows darkened, all wore lipstick to ensure they looked their best when filmed up close. And if you look at the photographs of the event, it's clear that the Queen and Thelma chose well. The Cyclax makeup held up for the entire ceremony, and the Queen looked radiant for the whole day. Now, just to prove that nothing is new in this world of marketing, you see, even after the coronation, the cosmetic firm Cyclax decided to release their own coronation brand. That's right, all the colours, the rouges, the lipsticks, everything that the beautiful Queen had worn on that particular day. Well, not the exact colours, because of course they had to remain a secret, but a wonderful marketing push, don't you think? And as I often say here on the show, doesn't it just prove that nothing is really new? It's just that it's lost in the annals of time. Thank you so much for joining me today on that look back of exactly how our wonderful late monarch looked so beautiful on her coronation day. And it's interesting to note, which is not detailed, but we found this out, is that she actually wore the makeup about 7 days in advance every single day, sometimes under hot lights, for the heat that could have transpired while she was in the coronation robes and indeed on the throne, because they didn't want her to look too dewy, sweaty in a man's case, you know what I'm saying? So they tested out all manners of makeup to make sure that she looked her absolute best. And when you look at the pictures now, doesn't she look absolutely flawless? I mean, yes, she's young, she's got a fabulous skin, and she's at the height of her beauty. But nonetheless, the ladies, the team, and of course, all the group behind the makeup brand, Cyclax, did their very best to make sure this truly was a moment in makeup history. Neil Sean, Porchester Hall, London.